there's about one game every 2 or 3 years in the regular season that you really remember, right? Like that I can sit here to people of a certain age and say a game and you can remember it. Like you can remember exactly the end or the details. You know, for me, those games started with like the LSU comeback in, I guess that was 94. You know, Cal era's had a bunch of them. And so a lot of them have been at Mississippi State. The DeMarcus Cousins Call Me game. You know, that John Wall team had a bunch of those kind of games. The first game against Miami of Ohio, the UConn game, the Carolina game, then the Carolina game, Anthony Davis's year, Julius Randle's team against LSU, Kevin Knox's year against West Virginia. I mean, I could go on and on. For all of you, there's different games. Well, I think tonight's going to be one of those for Kentucky. I mean, I think when you look back and you think of this season, we will clearly think about whatever happens in March. That will be the first thing we think about. But then the second thing I bet we think about is this game tonight, because this will be like the Eric Daniels putback game many years ago and the Call Me game DeMarcus's year. Mississippi State has produced another regular season game that we'll remember. Heck, even the COVID year, the best game was Dante Allen at Mississippi State.
He could not miss that day.
There's something about playing in Starkville where we just create these moments, and today was definitely one of them. I'll just kind of go through the game as it went for my take. We started poorly, both halves, and, you know, the question I have always been Cal's biggest advocate on the lineups don't matter, but it's starting the game. I'm starting to switch this year because in the first and second half, our starts were what killed us. But even in the first half, throughout the first half, even though we were down 6-10 most of the first half, I still kind of felt pretty good about where we were because they were kind of hitting everything, including DJ Jeffries hitting 2 threes, and he shoots 26%. That's a guy, I still remember the day he decommitted from Kentucky to go to Memphis. I was in Jackson County for a radio show. So, you know, I still felt good about where Kentucky was because I felt like they can't shoot like that the whole game, and then they didn't. And in the second half, you know, again, poor start to the second half. The Reeves foul on the 3, that was a little bit of bad luck. I think he got shoved into him, but still unforced. Then we're down 14. But I still thought they could come back because I just felt like Kentucky kind of had their number on offense, and it was just a matter of getting a few stops. And then that's exactly what happened. They went, I think, 6 minutes where Mississippi State only scored 2 points. We were able to get back in the game, and then a really special performance in the second half from Reed Sheppard. I mean, just a special performance, well, mostly offensively, but also defensively. He had a couple blocks, had a couple big steals. It was special, and that's why people will remember it, is how good he was in that second half. I mean, it wasn't just him. Rob Dillingham went on a little 7-point run. Reeves had his normal 20 to 24 points every single game. But, you know, Reed was special. And so then you get up 8 with a minute to go, and you're like, what a win. I was literally composing the tweet that said, this is a major win that could propel the team to March. I mean, I already had it written. And then we give up back-to-back threes and an and one, turn it over, and all of a sudden it's a game. The last minute is one of the wildest minutes of college basketball you'll ever see. If we didn't care about the outcome, it would have been great theater to watch. I bet a lot of people that aren't Kentucky fans turned it off and didn't even get to see it because they were like, well, this game's over. But the Hubbard kid from Mississippi State, I haven't watched them play much, and he didn't play particularly well against us in Rupp, but man, he's good. Hit some big shots. We did some really dumb things, including not guarding the three-point line. Reed had a terrible turnover. I'm not going to argue with people. Billy, I still think we should have fouled on 3, especially when the big guy had it, because, you know, the big guy had it at the top of the key, and he shot 52% from the line. But you know what? None of it matters because we won't remember any of that. What we'll remember is Reed. And then the shot at the end of the game. I mean, you know, for a team like Kentucky, with a program like ours, there oddly, Billy, aren't a ton of buzzer beaters in the regular season. You know what I mean? I mean, we have the amazing shots in the postseason.
Right.
The Aaron Harrison shots, they're not buzzer beaters exactly, but end-of-game shots. Tyler Hero had that shot against Houston. Brandon Knight had a couple shots. DeAndre Liggins. I mean, we have those. But in the regular season, if you sit here and say, okay, well, what are the buzzer beaters? There aren't a ton of them. Now, I know technically this one is not one because I guess there were 0.5 seconds left, but it really was. I mean, it was a buzzer beater. Probably the last one was E.J. Montgomery.
Yeah, that's the one I thought of.
Florida. I think that's the last one that I can think of. Somebody said Quade Green had one. I don't remember that one. I'm sure it happened. For some reason, I can't remember it. But E.J. Montgomery's the last one that comes to my mind. But this one was great because Cal has always taken the view on the last play, especially if they have to go full court, to play it out with no timeout. And, people have different views of that. I generally have been fine with it, especially when he's got the best players. The last couple of years, besides this year, I'm not sure we've had the best players, so maybe we needed to set something up. But this is an example of why he likes to do that. Because DJ Wagner gets down the court, he drives, he really doesn't have a play, and he kicks it out. That's actually a very good pass. A lot of guys take that shot right there and probably miss it. And he flips it back to Reed, who hits an awesome floater. We got to be between Reed and Reeves. We got to have the best floaters in the country, right? I mean, we have to. And it's an awesome ending to an epic performance. I mean, that is a signature performance. You sit there and go through the various Cal-era single-game performances. He's going to be up there, with Reeves last year against Arkansas, Oscar when he went for 20 and 20. You can go through Jody Meeks. Like, there's a lot of them. I know 32 points, but they were all clutch. They were all big shots. They hit their free throws at the end. 3 different guys, right? Reed, Reeves, and Rob all hit big free throws. It's a great win. And now you set yourself up to where you have a really good chance. Even if you lose to Tennessee, you have a really good chance of getting a bye. If you beat Tennessee, you're certainly going to get a bye. And if you beat Tennessee, you got a chance to win the league. We are set up now to where if everything plays out right, we'll play Tennessee for the SEC title. Now, we need a couple things to happen, but we now have the tiebreaker on Alabama. Alabama plays at Florida, and they play Tennessee. If they lose those 2 games, Auburn beats Tennessee tomorrow night, we got a shot. We got a shot to tie for the league and maybe even have the tiebreaker. So this was a great win. It was fun. And this team has been can't miss, excitement drama this year. It's been very frustrating at times. We've been through it. But it's such an exciting team to watch. And I saw a tweet right before I came on here, which was from Justin Rowland, who runs Cats Illustrated. And he had a child today, by the way. I think he's got, Billy, 37 children, I believe.
Oh, that's a lot of kids.
I think I don't know how many he has. He has a lot. But he had a child today, so congratulations to him and his wife. He had a tweet that I thought was really good. He basically said, Calipari is the perfect coach for Kentucky, and there's nobody that would be better because – and I thought what he said was really good. Calipari makes it to where it's always excitement, especially this year. I don't know if you all follow ratings, but the Kentucky games this year, every time they're on, are the highest rated games of the night. Every night. It'll be that way tonight, too. Every night, every Saturday, the Kentucky game is the highest rated game. And it's consistently higher than – really, Duke is not the same since Krzyzewski, but we still are. And we still are can't-miss drama. And this year has been quite a ride. And I think what has been frustrating at times the last 3 years is not only have we underachieved, it's kind of felt a little boring at times. Well, this team ain't boring. This team is exciting, with likable guys, with historically great shooting for Kentucky. I mean, This is probably the best three-point shooting team ever in Kentucky history. And it certainly has the best top 3 three-point shooters ever. And every night you just don't know what you're going to get. And there's something frustrating but also exciting about that. And tonight is a perfect example.